Me and my kids we all went to visit him one time over something. We spent some time with him. Well, he was a pastor of a church and a good friend of mine, still is. But him and his wife talked gruff to each other and loud.
Yeah.
Well, my kids hadn't heard that.
Yeah.
They don't hear. They never heard that around our house.
Yeah.
Because I've never raised my voice at Janice. 42 years, I've never raised my voice at her. And my kids never heard that, and they don't hear. They never heard that kind of gruff talking.
They didn't understand.
And these suckers were going at it, blah 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 blah, and they still loved each other, but it was their nature. And but when we left and got in the car, all my kids started crying.
Oh.
They were just tore up over it. They hadn't been around anything like that.
They thought it was bad.
They really thought it was bad, but it was the nature of those people that talked gruff to each other.
I've seen people
and that one their arguing seemed to be all right with them.
Yeah.
You know,
I find out in the older generations, the people, the older ones. I remember a lot of people growing up and stuff. They would talk hatefully. I mean, you'd think it's ready to fight.
Yeah.
But they sit down and they'd be getting supper together or something.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's quite as bad now. As it used to be. Maybe, I don't know. Of course, I ain't been around a lot.
You've been along the woods. Of course, you think it's all right.
Yeah, it's okay.
But I mean, I just see that nature of people, how they do. They get like that.
Yeah, they do. It's their nature. I don't know what causes it either.
I watch it. I don't know. I watch it and I think, So if we talk about things in Charlie's life, okay, and I think we've covered some of them, but if we talk about being happy,
yeah,
okay, and I need to push you outside of it a little bit, but I mean, when we talk about doing something that makes you happy, I know we're going to talk about hunting, fishing, okay? I got that figured out.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean,
yeah.
And I don't hunt and fish at all. Okay,
Yeah.
but I mean, and I got your tackle box you gave me up there right now.
Oh, yeah.
I got that up there, and I got the fishing bowls in here somewhere. Charlie got me a fishing bowl. He got me a fishing bowl. I want to try to fish. I have only fished twice in my life. Okay, twice. I throwed the worms in the last time. I said, it's easier than putting them on the hook. I said, them fish must be hungry. So I dumped the whole out of the little plastic cup.
Yeah.
Dumped it all in there. But anyway, I know you like to fish and you like to hunt. But I mean, what is there something else? If I talk about what makes Charlie Absher happy, if tomorrow you just want to do what makes you happy.
Tomorrow, I guess the happiest thing that I could, honestly, the happiest thing I've ever done was to be able to preach and see somebody get saved.
Yes, sir.
That's the happiest thing.
Yeah.
That's the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
The best. That is the best. And I've seen a lot of things.
Right.
Done a lot of things. Been, but they ain't nothing like that.
And somebody come in their life.
That's right.
To see their life set in motion.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. To know that you helped them to get to that point. Before they realize.
Yeah.
I think that is the happiest that you can be. You've
sense.
had that experience.
And I've had, when I stopped pastoring the church, because I felt like it was time for me to make a change. In the spirit, I know God had told me what to do. But I mean, when I think about, when I've had people call me back that I pastored years ago. And I just have a young lady, Teresa was her name. She's dead now. And she was in North Carolina, and she was on the street. She's homeless most of the time, okay? But she would call me every once in a while, just talk to me from the streets and where she was at, and just tell me how much she loved me and loved Janice.
Yeah.
And, and I think of things in your life like that really made me happy.
There's a thing happened to me here probably about a year ago, I guess. And a girl that used to come to my church. I pastored church 23 years. And she used to come to my church. I used to go pick her up. About all of her whole family come. I have to go get them in a van and take them to church, with me. We'd run the van back in. But she come to me. It's probably been 7 or 8 months ago, or maybe a year. Time goes by so quick. Somewhere in that area. But she told me, as a young girl, said, I remember the message that you preached that I've always tried to base my life on.
Yeah.
And she was 62 years old.
Huh.
And she probably was about, I've been 50 yet. It was 20-some years ago. I was 20-some years old then. It's been at least 45 years.
Yeah.
That she said she tried to base her life on that message that I preached.
Yeah.
And, she told me the name of it, and I remember preaching it. I remember the title of it. And about 2 months ago, she died.
Gee whiz.
Yep. She said, I've tried to base my life on it.
Yeah.
And that's it
Yeah.
right there.
You know, but you didn't know
Didn't know. I mean,
when you were doing it.
And I forgot things in my heart that people said to me, too.
Yeah.
Like your dad and you.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
How helpless have you felt, though, sometimes you stood in the pulpit and felt like nobody was paying attention? Did you ever feel that?
Yeah.
I felt that I felt that so many
that.
times.
Yeah, I felt that a lot.
Like nobody really cares.
Nobody cares. So that's
Nobody's
what-
listening to me. Nobody's caring.
Yep.
Everybody's just waiting to go home.
Yeah. I've had that happen to me. And I think all preachers do that.
Yeah.
You know, unless they're one of these big mega preachers or
I
something.
feel they feel the same way.
Yeah, I'd say they do
We
sometimes.
just don't know,
we
man.
just don't. We don't know.
Yeah.
We sit where they've sit, and they've sit. They've walked where we walk.
Exactly.
We all walked on the same
Right.
trails.
Right.
I mean, you know.
I had a guy one time. He was telling me he was fussing about Jim Baker and money and stuff like that. And I said, you know, it's pretty easy for you to say to talk about him. I said, where you have $500 a week coming in the church.
Yeah.
But if you had $150,000 coming in every service,
Yeah.
I'd sure like to see how humble and sweet you was about everything. You know, would you
What
still
you
be
buy?
driving that '77 Pinto? Okay, all right. Or what would you be doing? I said, you're talking about temptation and a challenge. It's not like to be a thief or nothing.
Yeah.
But see, the biggest thing we do is get to thinking we're worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's